Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So I wanted to do something different and talk about the storyline a little bit and kind of where it's at, where it might be going. Just make a shorter little video. That's what I'm going to try to do. Um, for a couple of reasons. I've been seeing where people have been calling this currently where we're at in the storyline morally gray. And to those people, I would say, we lost our tree. That's not that's not morally gray. That's we've lost our tree. Um, it's I find where we're at interesting because this seems to have provoked a strong reaction between Horde and Alliance players, and I've never really seen that before. We're kind of going a bit beyond just a friendly rivalry. People are really taking sides, which on one hand is kind of interesting. On the other hand, it's kind of exciting. I'm curious to see kind of where the conclusion for this goes. Most of my tunes are night elves, or if not night elves, pandas. So there you go. Um, I also wanted to kind of go back to I had mentioned this when I was doing the alliance side of the pre-event that there have been predictions that Sylvanas would play a bigger role in a future expansion. And two things kind of came to mind. One, Blizzard already said that they are working on the next expansion. They said that before, I think before Battle for Azeroth was even announced. They said they were working on the next expansion after that. Um, the the other thing was the suggestion I'll say that I heard was that Sylvanas would, keeping in mind she is undead, she went and found the remains of Frostmourne, turned them into arrows, and went around causing chaos and destruction. And somewhere out of all that, we end up being able to play Knight Dark Rangers. So, and that's one of those things where I said if I got to play as Sylvanas, if we got to be Dark Rangers, I would switch from Alliance to Horde. I would. Despite the fact most of my Alliance tunes are Night Elves. It's Sylvanas. I will take my Panda Monk and my what I assume would be my Blood Elf Dark Ranger, and I'm sure I would be quite happy playing as Horde. I also find it interesting playing beta. It felt like there's a strong naval theme. It felt like maybe they were trying to set up for a South Seas expansion, which involves Valshira and the Naga and all of that. Now, with everything that's happening with Darnassus, you could still say that is a possibility. Sylvanas and Valshira are kind of on the same side. They're both kind of the Naga are essentially corrupted high elves, which high elves used to be night elves. if I have my lore correct. Um, and then the Blood Elves tie in there somewhere down the line. Um, so I'm curious to see kind of where this goes. Where this, I'm really hoping they do more with Sylvanas. She was one of my um, overall favorite characters. Sylvanas and Thor, which is probably weird for somebody that plays Alliance, but Thor was a shaman. So, um, and my yes, so as somebody that tends to play shaman as their main, um, yeah. Um, yeah, I thought the end of the Alliance side was I did not play that on beta. I only did the Horde side from start to finish. Um, I thought that was the most immersive part of the whole quest chain. Certainly was, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. It was a little bit emotional for me. That was the first starting zone I saw was the Night Elf starting zone. So seeing it as it was, and it wouldn't let me. I kind of was flying around just to kind of see everything, and I wanted to see what the starting zone or what the rest of it looked like, and they had it blocked off. It phased me back into Darnassus when I tried to fly out of it. I am. I'm very curious to see kind of where this goes and what happens next, and everything like that. Um, where I'm actually kind of more curious to find out what we do next. Um, I wasn't necessarily. I will say this. Um, in conclusion, I wasn't necessarily overhyped for Battle for Azeroth. A lot of people were um, excited for Legion for a variety of reasons. Of course, Illidan, you know, when the whole break glass for Illidan thing when WoW's in trouble. Um, and Demon Hunters and everything like that. And it just, for me, it wasn't a bad expansion. It just, for me, didn't quite live up to the hype. I don't know that I really had expectations. It just didn't quite live up to the hype. Um, so Battle for Azeroth, of course, I was excited. Um, something new. But then it was like, oh well, there's these islands and everything, and it was just like, oh okay, we kind of did this with Legion and the Broken Isles and everything. So okay, playing beta was fun, um, but again, it was just kind of like, okay, dungeons, this, that, okay, you know. Now I'm kind of getting more excited because I want to see how this concludes. I want to see how this transitions. So I'm more, I'm more. There's more anticipation now than there was before, and I hope that's not wasted by the time that Battle for Azeroth launches. And more so than that, I hope that they kind of set a high bar in Legion with the way they rolled out patches and content and things like that. I hope that the anticipation, the wanting to see what happens next, is still there towards the end of Battle for Azeroth, or as we transition into something else, whatever the next expansion is going to be. So, yeah, I'm kind of curious. Some people have suggested there might be kind of like a Siege of Orgrimmar, where we try to where we invade Undercity. I think that would be fun. Undercity's always been one of my favorite favorite horde cities. I think it was the second one I saw. Silver Moon was the first, and then I think I took the port from Silver Moon to Undercity. Yeah, as close as I can remember. So there you go, folks. A little bit different video for you. So, yeah, I think they have with Battle for Azeroth yet to launch. I think they have set it up to either go in a South Seas expansion or put Sylvanas more main stage for the next expansion. And fingers crossed, hopefully, maybe we might get Dark Rangers. I would very much like that. I think we are in bad. We badly need another ranged class that can use bows and rifles and things like that. Since our rogues can't, which I'm still very salty about. So, and just the whole idea of using, being able to use shadow damage and everything, I think in more of a thinking about a hunter and thinking about a warlock, which I think is about the closest equivalency in the game. Thinking about that, or thinking about a hunter and a shadow priest, even something more along those lines. I'm excited. I would be excited for that. I was never one that really hopped on the I want a demon hunter train. Not a big fan of melee classes, so yeah, I was more excited for monks than I was for demon hunters. So, and I'm probably one of the few people that will say that. So, and I'm fine with that. So there you go, folks. Little video about storyline and hopefully where, or possibly where things are going. So, hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching.